Hi there, friends. I am Mary Knabe from Stampin' and welcome to my studio. It is Tuesday, June 24th, and it is hot in central Ohio. We're having high temperatures in the high 90s, and heat index is like 103, 105. So just trying to stay cool. I'm happy my studio is in the lower level of my house, which is the coolest place in my house. But yeah, and I haven't even walked today, so I need to get that in, but I think I'm going to go over to Innis Woods Park because it's got several parts that are shady over there. So I hope you are doing everything you can to stay cool in these extreme temperatures. And who's ready to get started crafting? I'm going to flip my camera around now, and while I do that, please share this live video and invite others to join us this afternoon. I'm so frustrated with Facebook. Why won't it let me zoom in like it used to? It looks like somebody in our group has a birthday. Happy, excuse me, happy birthday, Tony Shaw. Anybody else have a birthday today or perhaps this month? Okay. Today, I have decided to feature two products that are on the last chance list. I feel like the last chance list doesn't always get enough attention. So I had some cards already made with this Humble Home stamp set and the coordinating builder punch. So I thought I'm going to write up a PDF tutorial for these 5 cards. But in the meantime, I thought, why not share this bundle for a Facebook Live? So that's what I'm doing today. So I've created a fun fold for you, and it will feature those 2 products, the Humble Home stamp set and the coordinating punch. I'll also be using oh no, this is for, sorry, that's for the other one. That's for the PDF. Ignore that part. I will also be using the Country Woods Designer Series paper. But I wanted to go ahead and show this to you. This is actually my first time using this DSP. So you've got the wood grains on one side, all different shades of browns and grays, even a blue, which is very pretty. And then on the opposite side, you have some different wood grains, but with more color to them, like the pool party or the corals. So really lots of fun. They are great for making country style cards, I'll say. Great for masculine cards as well. Beachy cards, all kinds of great things. So I went ahead and cut a piece of 12-inch by 5 1/4 inch DSP. Okay, Country Woods DSP. The first thing I'm going to do is cut this, I would say 8 inches, but I want you to go just a wee bit shorter. So I'm going to say 7, like 7 7/8 inch. Okay. And what's going to happen is I'm going to fold this, and the fold will be on the left side. I'm going to flip it over because I want this to be the outside. and I want 4-inch mark right here. So whether you do from this end 3 7/8 or from the right end 4 inches, that's where you're going to score, okay? When you fold that and have the fold on the right hand side, you see a little bit of the color or the pattern on the opposite side. I want that, and you will see why when I put the card together, why I wanted to do that. Then this other piece that's left, I'm cutting at 1 7/8 inch. Remember, this is already 5 1/4 inch high, and another piece at 1 7/8 inches. Okay. So I'm finished cutting my DSP, so I'll put my paper trimmer out of the way. Now, the card base is 8.5 by 5.5 inches. I've scored it 4 1/4, so right down the middle. But then I flipped it over and also scored it 2 1/8. The reason I flip it over is because these folds are going to be in different directions, okay? So here I'm folding my card base in half, and then I'm going to fold on the second score line and fold that flap so the edge meets the first fold, okay? So it's a Z fold, right? You may know it as a Z fold, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is take this piece of DSP that I've prepared, and if you want to make it 8 inches and score at 4 inches, you can. The reason I made 7 7/8 inches is I want to be sure that the person who receives this card and opens it knows that this is going to open. Sometimes people overlook what we think may be the obvious, and if I leave just a little bit of the edge of the inside showing, then it becomes obvious to those who may not have noticed that that's something we want you to open. Now the 1 7/8 inch pieces, I'm going to adhere to the first 2 sections. So again, these are 1 7/8 inch by 5 1/4. And because they're 5 1/4 inches high, and you're starting with pieces that are 12 inches by 5 1/4, you would be able to make 2 of these fun fold cards with 1 sheet of your DSP. I'm gonna put this right here to pick up some of that glue that seeped out there. And I'm gonna let it dry, and I can pick up any excess stickiness with my adhesive remover. So this is basically the card. Open, open. I'm going to put a piece of 5 inch by 3 3/4 inch cardstock on the inside. So I have a place to write or stamp a message. How many of you just stamp a message and sign your cards? And how many of you actually write some kind of personal note inside? I'm a personal note kind of person. I like to add a little something special. So now I'm going to do some stamping. Oops, they're already out. And the first thing I'm going to do is looking for my little piece of scrap DSP, and I don't know where I put it. So I guess that means I will cut another. Oh, here it is. I put it back in. That's why I couldn't find it. I put it back in the package. So what I'm going to do, and this is about 2 1/4 inches high, so it'll fit nicely into my punch, okay? the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the roof and the chimney near the top here. And I'm stamping this in basic gray. Then I'm going to go ahead and I chose basic gray just because it matches the card base I'm using. You could do black, you could do a brown, whatever you want for that roof and chimney. Okay, so there is, I'm calling this a birdhouse. And then I'm going to stamp the 2 windows and the doors right onto my birdhouse. I should have this on my Stampin' Pierce mat since it is a photopolymer set. Make sure I have it inked up well, just like that. And then I've got this, and this is a different piece of DSP than what I used here, but it is from the same DSP I used here. So this is 3/8 inch of a 3/8 inch strip. You need like 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And I'll show you why I gave you an approximate measurement, approximate length, but not the full length. You'll see that in a moment. And before we put everything together, I'm going to complete my stamping. I've got a circle from the Stylish Shapes dies, as well as 2 others, okay? And when I put this on my blog, I will let you know exactly which size of the dies I used. So I'm inking it up with Pool Party. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on to this white circle. And I'm doing that intentionally because I want the heart to be lighter in color than the full-on Pool Party. And then I'm going to stamp Welcome across it in the basic gray ink. Now, if the sentiment for this card is welcome, what would you use this for? I've got some of my ideas of my own, but I'd like to hear what you would use this kind of card for. So the first thing I'm going to do is adhere my circle, my large circle, and this was made with the largest of the Stylish Shapes dies, okay? And I only want to adhere it on the left side. So I'm going to put a little bit of multi-purpose glue near that fold. Don't want to go beyond. And then I'll put some on the left side of my circle. Make sure. Oh, and here's another way I've discovered to use my Stampin' Pierce mat. Now, I've got this planned well, so I should not get any ink on this part of my card, but just to be sure, I'm laying down my silicone craft sheet. So just another way to use that. And then I'm just going to adhere that and press on the left side. Let's see how I did with the glue. Oh, perfect. Okay, I just want to press that down into place. I'm going to adhere my birdhouse with some dimensionals. Now I am going to have my post here, but I'm not going to adhere it just yet. And I'll be adhering it with my liquid glue, multi-purpose glue. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to that basic gray circle. It's kind of in the middle there. and then I'll insert the post. Now you can decide if you want that post only going to the edge of the circle, in which case you could cut it. You could even cut it at a rounded edge to reflect that circle shape, or you can let it hang off a bit. I decided I like it hanging off a bit. Welcome to a new baby. Oh, maybe even welcome to an adopted child, new coworker, new neighbors. Oh, you guys thought of so many. New sister-in-law. Oh, I love that. New house, definitely. Does anybody know any realtors? This would be a great stamp set to, or card for realtors. Perhaps you know a realtor and you can make up a set of welcome. Welcome to your new home, or welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the team. Perhaps it's for a new colleague. That sort of thing. Now I'm going to adhere this white, and let me see. This was made with the middle size circle. There are 5 circle dies. So I'm using the largest, the next one smaller, and then the next one smaller, which is the middle size. So I'm going to go ahead and layer these 2. And then I'm going to put this in the center of this inside piece, just like that. So it is covered when the card is closed, okay? If I were doing just the white circle, I might even put it down here in the corner and push this up so that both circles show at the same time. But that's something you can play around with when you're making yours. Because I know you all are trying to stay in and beat the heat. So this is a new fun fold for you to play with while you're trying to stay cool inside. Okay, so here's my card. I'm going to finish off with, where's my ribbon? Oh, here it is. I'm going to finish off with a bow using this 1/4 inch white ribbon. I love this. I think I'm going to have to order some more of this because I feel like I've been using it an awful lot lately. I'll show you samples of some of the other Humble Home cards I made that I decided to write a PDF tutorial for. So I'll have to finish that up. It's almost done. Just need to add photos. But sometimes you just have so much fun and you just keep going and going and going, right? And then, so here it is. Does anybody have this ribbon? It is so nice. It's a woven ribbon. It's real flexible, kind of like a gauze, but thicker, or more closely woven, I should say. But it's really super easy to work with. I think that's why I love it so much. Plus, you can always make custom color ribbon by coloring this with Stampin' Blends, or alcohol-based markers, the Stampin' Blends. And I think that looks cute. Now, do you think we should add a little bit of bling? I don't know if I want to call it bling, but let me pull out some different embellishments and you can tell me what you think. Not so much like the sparkle. There was one other one I was going to pull out. The basic gray and smoky slate pearls, I think would be a good choice. Oh my goodness. Here it is. Although those are the large ones, I don't know if I'd want the large ones. Or would I rather use some of the smaller ones? So I've got the smoky slate or basic gray pearls. Oh, I do kind of like those. Or the other choice is the, pull this out, the textured dots. Any thoughts on which you would choose? The metallic textured dots, or I love Kay says, yes, bling. Or the gray pearls. I think both would work very well with this DSP and the overall theme of the card, but I'm interested to hear what you would choose. Pat saying textured dots. Anybody else have a thought? There's no right or wrong answer. I wouldn't pull out something that I didn't think looked good and ask you to do that. Any other thoughts? Oh, more texture dots. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought some of you would do the matchy-matchy and choose the gray pearls. Oh, Susie did. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use the textured dots, since that's what many of you chose. I think I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And then how about 4, 5. So I used 2 of the large and 3 of the small. And I think that goes nicely with this kind of country, woodsy, distressed look. I think this could even be used for people who like shabby chic. This would be a great DSP, and even the whole birdhouse idea would go. Open that up, welcome, and then place to write a personal message, but just a quick and easy fun fold card. So what do you think? What do you think? Is this a card you see yourself making? I sure hope so. And when you do, I hope you'll post pictures here so we can all see and take some inspiration from you. Now, I want to show you a card that is pretty much the same. I didn't add the embellishments on this yet, but the main difference here is I used a piece of gray granite instead of basic gray. Now here I pulled in some basic gray, but the rest I'm sticking to the gray granite. I thought I loved the gray granite until I tried it on the basic gray. But either one works. I also think basic beige would work in there with this particular print. Smoky slate. Okay. All right. What do you all think? Who is going to get off this live and make this fun fold today? Joan, I'm glad you like it. Nancy, the card and a card idea. Yes, if you are looking to do something different or are looking to create your own fun fold, people often ask me, I guarantee you, somebody, when I post this to all my sites later, somebody will ask me, what's the name of that fun fold? You know what? Most fun folds don't have their own name. I would call it a version of a Z-fold card, but it's definitely a card within a card. And I think a card in a card within a card would be is a great place for you to kind of start and create your own fun fold card. Okay, we don't have to make it harder than it is, right? The folds I did are actually quite easy. It's just that I combined the Z-fold card with a DSP card base and the fold on the right. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay, I want to give you a reminder that our sweet promotion from Stampin' Up! Is still going on through Monday. Okay, that is a buy one, get one 50% off. And I just realized I'm wearing an embellishment. So what that promotion is, it's a buy one, get one 50% off of any suite that you find online or in the catalog. And then you get your second suite or second product from a suite. Okay, so you can buy full suites or you can buy individual products from suites. As long as they are part of a product suite, they are eligible for the buy one, get one 50% off. I know many of you have been taking advantage of that, and Monday is the last day. Okay. All right, if there's no questions, I'm going to say goodbye and good evening and happy crafting. I am not 100% sure what time my second Facebook Live of this week will be. I'll be watching Riley on Thursday afternoon, and she's spending the night and getting picked up Friday morning. So I'm not sure I'll be able to get in my usual Facebook Live on that Thursday, depending on what time she goes down for a nap. But if not, I will do my best to bring it to you at a later time. Alrighty? Have a great evening. Stay cool. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.